Good morning. November 1st, Thursday.
Novi-1, man.
Novi-1.
Good morning.
Good morning, Jay.
Good morning,
Rod.
Rod.
Don't squeeze my hand too hard now. You know I got a broke elbow, so.
Yeah, you had a little trouble this morning lifting your luggage as we were trying to get back to Dallas.
A lot of trouble this morning lifting my luggage. But good morning to the viewing public and the listening audience. We're here at Penn Global News, November 1st.
Oh, 2018. And let me tell you, it got here in a hurry.
And man, all the kids out there, you know, I know y'all not watching because y'all not in the business yet, but we did miss Halloween.
Halloween, no tricks and no treats.
Yeah, we totally sorry. I got to apologize to all my friends and neighborhood kids that look for me to act crazy on Halloween, but we were traveling back from Orlando, trying to get some work done, you know.
Yeah. And here's the thing, I feel in some respects, though, that we did get some treats.
We got some treats, even when we got on the plane.
Exactly.
Yeah,
we got some
treats.
Your little Bailey with your coffee first thing in the morning always helps.
See, I didn't do no Bailey. I was trying to be cool. I did some other stuff, but I ain't going to tell you what it was. But happy Halloween. I hope everybody had a great time. And, man, we're back today, dude.
We're back,
November 1st, Dallas, Texas. Well, actually, we're in Frisco.
We're in Frisco.
You know,
and you know, it makes for a great segue. Because here's the thing. You know, we're here at Unified Networks studio here in Frisco, Texas. And last show, I did mention the fact that, you know, I felt as though I was being slighted, being left out of the fun. Didn't get my treats. And so I get into the studio fresh off the plane. Yeah. I'm a little weary. And what do I see? Smarties.
The Smartie candy.
No. But these are extreme sour Smarties. So outside of just a fabulous team, world-class 5-star technology, just a fabulous venue in which to shoot your media. You also get some treats. The team listens. So Cord, Jim, thank you.
And Cord and Jameson, thank y'all.
They're awesome.
Thank y'all for the treats. Trick or treat.
but all humor aside, we got a great show today.
I know, man. I really want to manufacture some of that. So, you know, I'm all about the manufacturing. How do we get into that right there and manufacture that, you know?
Well, I don't know, man, because
that's what I want.
I tell you what, now in the spirit of one of my old-time favorite rap groups, NWA, they always say, don't get high off your own supply.
Come on,
if I start making Smarties, I'll be my own best customer, but I won't make any money. Okay, so let's make something that I won't eat.
Okay.
Is that fair?
That's fair.
Okay, but great show today, man. I'm excited about what we got going on. We've been talking about a lot of things from an institutional perspective as it relates to the inconvenient truth. And so we've talked about the inconvenient truth of certification.
And so many different ways.
So many different ways.
Of the inconvenient truth, right?
Accessing capital, a convenient audience, a less convenient audience.
Yeah.
But slowly, methodically, we've transitioned a lot of our engagement with and without our guests to what at some point we're going to talk about today. And that's going to be a success story.
A success story.
Okay.
Of capital.
Of capital.
Of a client, and we're gonna hold this back a little bit until we get to introduce this segment. But we're gonna talk about some capital success stories because you know everybody out here in society today, if you're a small business, medium business, you know whether you're minority, woman-owned, government, LGBTQ, or just a majority company. You're trying to do two things, right, Jesse?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And that is you're trying to get capital to buy skills, talent.
Yeah.
And buy plant and equipment for that talent.
That's right, man. We tell everybody, like, listen, it's time out for the games. You gotta get out of your office. Right? You gotta get out into the network. You gotta go shake hands. You gotta meet people. You gotta follow through. But if you're trying to grow your business and you're trying to scale your business, either you're gonna need those two things we talk about all the time for the last 2.5 years. That you either gonna have to have more contracts in your business from a procurement standpoint, or you're gonna have to gain access to capital. And you're going to get the capital thing right because nobody today is trying to write a check and not understand how they're going to get their returns, Jesse.
Certainly not without a compelling reason to do so. And one of the things that we've always talked about, whether it be through our website at www.playbookinvestorswithanSnetwork.com, or even most recently when we raised our visibility for Diversity and Promotions, Inc., which is our procurement platform, the supplier solutions platform, be prepared to do 5 things.
Give it to them. Number one.
Most importantly, number one with the bullet, as you should do, and that's lead with your ethics. Because if perception is reality, and we know that it is, the perception of whether or not you can be trusted, that you're clear in how you communicate the attributes of your business, and whether you drive the perception that you can deliver, that you'll underpromise and overdeliver. That's going to be key. The second thing is understand your business. As we've talked about, understand where you are relative to your peers in your industry. because what that does is it presents a different risk/growth story as it relates to your potential in addition to your history. But then the last three things really involve some key documents that you're going to have to be prepared to talk about. One's going to be that balance sheet. Whether or not this new fusion of capital, to what degree it's going to make up a larger percentage of the debt that's on the books, if in fact it is debt. Your statement of cash flows, because an investor that puts money into you is going to want to see how that money flows through the business that's being accounted for in terms of how it supports the business. And lastly, the P&L, because that's really where the rubber is going to meet the road.
It's always going to be that.
If you're driving top line revenue, if you're managing your cost synergies, what is reflected before you pay the interest to those debt holders, and then what's left in the business? So leading with your ethics, being clear about your position in your industry in terms of how you rank amongst your peers, and being able to speak to the qualitative and quantitative aspects of your business, it'll take you a long way.
Hey man, listen, for Jesse to tell you those 5 steps, that's what you really gonna have to have. We've been doing this for quite a while. As we always tell you, we're here to educate you on how to gain access to capital. There's a procurement side and there's a capital side. If you got a great business, you know that you either need capital or you need more procurement contracts.
No question.
To scale your business. You got to hire the right people. You got to pay for certain things. People, you do have to pay for your advertising, your marketing, social media. You know, you need an audit financials. You need an audit review. You need a succession plan. You need key man insurance. You need all these things sometimes to get to the next level to ensure that if anything happens to you, you will be able to repay that money, or somebody in a company who is a successor of your company or the key manager be able to pay that money back. So man, I tell you, we enjoy getting up every morning. One, just to be seen.
Because it's a blessing.
Morning. It's a blessing every morning, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Be seen getting up every morning to come to the studio. But it's not every morning, but every Thursday. But the fact to get up and be able to expound on these type of things that we're trying to educate, businesses on how to really get to the next level, because it's a struggle. Hey, let's not play with it. It's a struggle. Nobody wants to just write you a check to give you capital.
And now that we've covered that, because the thing is, we're not into fear mongering, but what we are realists. And so we
realists.
Very much realists. So we want to make sure that we impart a few things, because we've said before in past shows, even when we first launched this fabulous medium called Penn Global News, we talk about the fact that, look, ultimately, the person that you see in the mirror should be the only person that is more compelled to action than the person you see in front of your face. Why? Because you are accountable to you first. Then you're accountable to your investors, and you're accountable to your customers.
Y'all know I'd be like, well, go ahead, Jesse.
Get him, Jesse. No prayer cloth moments. No prayer cloth moments. No prayer cloth moments. But in all seriousness, we do hope that you have come to appreciate what we've tried to deliver in terms of helping you understand, particularly if you are a small to middle market enterprise, you happen to be minority owned, woman owned, LGBTQ, veteran, disadvantaged business, or even a small or majority owned company, that these simple tools, they're not new. They're just being delivered in a way to a different audience. But make no mistake about it, the principles are the same. That we've always been about trying to give you the truth. It's just that this year, we said that it would be inconvenient. Why? Because sometimes it is.
Things are inconvenient. When people tell you, the inconvenient truth of things you really don't want to hear, it's tough. When you ask for capital, it's like, hey, man, if I get $2 million, I know what I can do with this. I can scale my business. I can go hire the people. I can get the right equipment. And somebody tells you, well, no, you can't do that. That's tough.
It's funny.
That's tough.
Yeah,
you can't do something?
Oh,
right. Man.
I want so bad. I want so bad to tell you about the next segment, but we're not going to do that yet. We're not going to do that yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. But one of the great things about that success story is that this individual, he found a way to exceed the no's.
He did.
He embraced the inconvenient truth that despite all of the things that he had in order,
like good things,
great things,
good credit,
assets,
yes, he did.
But it was the timing of the ask. It wasn't even the ask; it was the timing of the ask. Because we were coming out of the Great Recession. Okay.
True.
And then it came down to some granular details about how to do certain things. And he himself will admit, you know what? I had to change my method of thinking. I had to change my mindset and adhere to the person or institution that was dictating to some degree the terms of my capital access. So this is going to be a great segment.
And not even that, Jesse, to not just change his mindset, but he had to do a lot of things
repetitively, absolutely,
to different lenders who were still asking for
certain
different things, right?
That's right.
And
that's right.
So those things he had to get, and it was repetitive. He had to keep, redoing this. And another group wanted to see it this way. Another group wanted to see it turn slightly this way. So those things happen. I mean, investors are going to ask for different things of your business, of yourself, and of the people who are part of your business as well. They want to know that you got good people, qualified. And we call them SMEs, but subject matter experts.
Subject matter experts, very important.
Team that can really help you scale a business. Because if I give you this $2 million or this $5 million or $10 million or $100 million, whatever, will you really do the right thing with this money and scale your business? And we just left one of our main investors in Orlando, and we had the same conversations.
Yes, we did.
We had the same conversations about the money and where it goes and how we track this and how do we see this, and that's fair.
They pose certain questions.
Yeah,
to us.
That's fair.
Yeah,
I wasn't offended. I was like happy. I'm glad you're asking me.
That's right.
But you not only you got to verbalize, you got to show it. You got to show it on paper.
Yes, you do.
You have to show it on paper. You have to have a clear plan, and a path to understand how you're going to scale that business and grow that business. Whether you're getting into the corporate ladder side or from the actual procurement contracts, or you're actually going into other states or other cities, or you laying fiber optics or whatever you're doing. You got to be able to show and demonstrate what you do. That's part of the game.
And that's also part and parcel to how you're utilizing that capital.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to have a great pro forma. It's another thing to be able to deliver the various aspects of that pro forma according to whoever your audience is. But at some point where the rubber is going to meet the road is showing that investor how you have utilized that money. Because at some point, you'll get it.
Yeah.
You'll get it. But it's how you continue to utilize that money. And to Rodney's point, I think that in the success story that we're going to have, it's how he went out and identified, filtered, and ultimately onboarded some 5-star talent.
Yeah, and there was a lot of credit due back to us and due back to our peers and due back to our partnership companies who helped this individual get to where he wanted to go.
Sure.
But, we're going to be excited and happy to talk about this success story and to talk about himself. And he's a champion. He's a champion.
For real.
He went through some hard times, some good times, and then some times like the inconvenient truth of having certain things that was good, and people tell you that's not good enough. So, man, when we come back after this break,
this is going to be saucy.
It's going to be pretty good, Jesse.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good.
So listen, we're here at PN Global News, November 1st, 2018. I'm Rodney Woods.
Jesse McRae.
We'll be back after the break.
In a minute.
Marie, you have prediabetes.
Prediabetes? I don't have time to eat right or exercise. I'm a busy mom.
Oh, you're a busy mom.
Yeah.
This is great news. Busy moms never get prediabetes.
Wait, what?
Let me just... Yeah, this is all the people at risk for prediabetes. And way over here, busy moms. No?
Back at PN Global News. As we indicated before we went to the break, we're going to bring you a success story from one of our peers in the state of Indiana.
One of our clients, yes.
Yes?
One of our clients. And fabulous success story, all-American success story. What you're about to see is the example of what American capitalism is about from the prism or lens of a small to medium-sized business that happens to be minority-owned, but the leadership is diverse in its perspectives, diverse in its skill sets, and committed to growing his business for the benefit of his stakeholders and his customers. I tell you, this is a pleasure.
Yeah, Ron Robinson of LCP Transportation in Indianapolis, Indiana, and we want to congratulate you, Ron, for being strong and staying in there and hearing the inconvenient truth, but fighting through it and gaining access to the capital that you needed. And thank you so much to our partners and our peers who helped you get that capital from Roy Mullins.
Yes, indeed.
My other partner with Roy, Allen. And
yes.
then Tarek,
yes,
Tark, and all the list goes on with the partners
yeah.
who try to make this happen, because it takes a lot of people to make some of these things come to fruition. But we're going to go ahead and let you in on what Ron Robinson, LCP Transportation, went through to get to where he needed to be.
And a 20-year milestone, well deserved. Congratulations.
My name is Ron Robinson. I'm the CEO and the owner of LCP Transportation. We're a non-emergency medical transportation provider in the state of Indiana. We transport people all over the state of Indiana, and we have done that for 18 years. Started the company in 1998, in October of 1998. We started contracting directly as a Tier 1 provider in 2002. We transport people for managed health services at that time. It's Centene Corporation out of St. Louis. We started there. We had one vehicle, and we've grown to the point where we have over 90 employees, and we're all over the whole state. We have now 3 MCOs that we transport for, managed care organizations. It's given me an opportunity to hire people that may not have had a chance to get into this type of industry. Some of the challenges of growth are just kind of normal and natural in terms of, as you grow, you have to add different departments. They may have the experience, but they may not have all the skill sets necessary to grow. As you grow, you have bigger ARs, which means that your money doesn't come in quickly as it used to. Now you're growing, yeah, you're doing more business, but at the same time, you got to manage your capital. You got to manage your cash as you grow it, and so you don't overgrow too quick. When I first started this business, it was extremely hard to get funding. So what I did is I turned within and just started to save money and put money together and build this kind of through an osmosis type of situation. But as I've gotten bigger, obviously you can't do that. So you got to go out and get capital in order to grow, add vehicles. We're a transportation company, so we have to have vehicles. We have to have new vehicles. You have to have the ability to pay for fuel, maintenance when it's necessary. So you got to have capital. The challenge with us is that, you know, when you're trying to compete in this market and you have low margins, tight margins, it's very difficult to take those big jumps without having some sort of strain around your business. Playbook Investment Network has helped, and it was interesting from the standpoint that obviously a lot of people are looking for capital. But in this case, what he's done is he's put together a network of people who have money, and he tries to marry them with people who need money. Is helping companies not only to get the capital, but to help them in other ways, because it's like the holistic approach to business. You got to have more than just the capital in order to be successful. Penn brings a lot of people to the table that are obviously successful in their own right. So when you get people around you that are successful, they tend to help you be successful.
Wow. Man, I tell you, congratulations to Ron at LCP
awesome.
Transportation.
Yes, indeed.
Man, Ron is not only just a good businessman, a good leader.
He's awfully impressive.
You know, great father.
Yes, indeed.
You know, I've met his wife and his kids.
Yes, we did.
We actually grew up in the same hometown in Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, right.
Here we go.
You know, I got to give
connection.
I got to give love to the homies in Tennessee. You know, but Ron and my brother Reggie Woods, who they played ball together. They played baseball together as well. But Ron also, I think Ron went on to play in the NFL for a little bit as well.
With the Colts.
But but just a great guy. Great dude, great business leader, man, and a great family man. But, man, we're so proud and happy
yes, we are.
of Ron's success. We're happy that he gave us an opportunity to help him get to the next level.
Yes, indeed.
That's what we've always indicated. All we want to do is educate. Educate you on how to truly gain access to capital. And it's a process.
It is a process.
It's a process. There's a lot of inconvenient truths. But we hear every Thursday to give you this free knowledge. And we're not saying that we're right about everything.
No, not
you know, we're not the SMEs in every space, but we try to bring, you know, people on our network every Thursday to give you knowledge. that you can actually access anytime, any given time.
Sure.
We got our athlete entertainer partners.
Yes,
we got T-Mac, Tracy
T-Mac.
McRae. We got T-Mac, and he's trying to be a voice to all the athlete entertainers to help them understand how do you own an LCP transportation.
And his message is really resonating.
Yeah.
You and I were a part of some recent conversations. Yeah. And what's really interesting is even a Tracy in AD.
Antonio Davis. By the way, plug for Antonio. Antonio's 50th birthday was just yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Antonio.
Happy birthday, AD.
Happy birthday, man. I'm not singing to you.
Yeah, he was supposed to send us where we were supposed to come for his birthday.
Okay. We're not going to sing.
We're not digressing, Ron.
We're not going to digress at all. But happy birthday,
Antonio.
Man. But the message continues to resonate both with current players of a particular sport.
Yeah.
Players of other sports, but also consumers of sport.
Yes.
And I want to emphasize the consumers of sport because when you have persons like a Tracy, like an Antonio Davis and others that have made the transition in many respects from sport to business, they themselves have also embraced some inconvenient truths.
Absolutely.
Now, some of that has been vanity. Some of that has been access.
Yeah.
But ultimately, they've had the Jonathan Benders.
Yeah.
Awesome
JB,
businessman.
Jonathan
Just on the show with us.
Yes.
Even he admitted that, there are certain dynamics in business that despite my competitive nature and the things that I could control as a player in that regard, I couldn't control as a businessman.
Right.
What we always aim to do here at Playbook is to, as my business partner Rodney would say, we want to make sure that we give you information and access to resources that you can use. The biggest thing that came out of Ron's piece is if you need capital, we're not saying that we're the reservoir of all access.
Oh, we're not.
But what we are is a evolving, tested platform of world-class third-party service providers that they're singular in their discipline, whether it be accounting, key man insurance, succession planning, branding and marketing, social media, strategic advisory. These are practitioners that are recognized by their industry, and they are surrounded by competent, capable professional people to offer their solution, provided that that's your need, all to position you to tell a more compelling risk and growth story to an investor audience.
Yeah, and that's all we've done. I mean, we're passionate about it.
Yes, we are.
We're excited about all of our partnerships with T-Mac, AD, JB, and more importantly, Gwen Purcern and Sean out in Orlando, and Wendell McCain's and
Wesley,
Wesley Barnett. All the people we surrounded ourselves with.
Very fortunate.
It's been a long process. It's been a 9-year process. Of
even
building,
for ourselves.
Right, for ourselves to even build a platform to actually have where our vendors can go and get educated and gain access, but find out the inconvenient truth that you really don't have a proper business plan or PPM or the proper audit financials or audit review or succession plan. We've been in plants, Jesse, you know this. We've talked to owners. I have a succession plan, and they wrote it out on a piece of paper. That's not your succession plan.
No.
I mean, we understand.
That's a concept of getting between shifts. Okay? Especially if you're manufacturing powders and soaps and towels. That's not a succession plan. That's a shift transition. That's not a succession plan.
And there's nothing to laugh at. We have a lot of fun sometimes on the show because, we try to bring some humor to it's serious. But at the same time, there's a lot of things that you just don't know.
Right.
There's a lot of things that we didn't know. And that's why we've had so many partners and so many corporations who have embraced what we're trying to do, or champion, as we would meet, the Leonards of the world at Walt Disney. Or we, talking to the Adrian Trimbles, who was at Toyota now, who's the president of NMSDC.
Yeah, National Supplier Development Council.
Or the Ying McGuires and all the other peers and spears
Margaret
of influence.
Right.
Miss Wong, which we meet on the 7th in California.
Absolutely.
But it's like, and we say these names, and some of you know who some of these names are, and you may not know who some of these names are, but very successful business people you know, very strong-minded people who really want to help too. You know, the Tabithas of the world at NASA. You know, the Raj Chappelles. These are people you want to kind of get to know.
Sure.
You know, and if they can help you, they will. They really serious about trying to help other companies scale to the next level. And that's what diversity is all about.
No question. And
diversity is all about helping that minority business have a little edge or making the playing field a little even. You know, I moved my arm a little bit too much, Jesse.
I was going to say, because here's the deal. I noticed that you know, you're not moving with the same vigor that you normally have. You know, so we're going to have to get you. I still want you to be demonstrative.
Yeah, but
go ambidextrous.
The broke arm is beginning to hurt. So, but I'm still here.
But you know, diversity is important. But you know, we always want to make sure that we're very clear and conscious in terms of communicating our aim, and that is our platform is designed to appeal to those persons that are running good businesses. Yeah. And you happen to represent a certain demographic. I think one of the big misnomers, if you will, is that, well, you know, we've heard this, you know, playbook, you're just gearing out to women-owned firms, or you're just gearing out to minority-owned firms, LGBTQ. Well, to Rodney's point, we want to make sure that firms that represent really good business models have done the right thing about all the capital that they've gotten, but lack the visibility or the platform to gain that visibility. Rightfully so. We want to make www.playbookinvestors.network.com available, but make no mistake about it. This is a 100% American capitalistic platform that is open for business for all businesses that are seeking access to capital. We're going to offer you a world-class third-party solution to make sure that you have every opportunity to at least engage those suppliers that are singular in their focus, recognized by their industry, to offer their service to you, provided that there's a need.
And more importantly, you know, there's the investor platform is basically on the back end, you know, and Ron, back to what Ron has successfully done with his company and scaling and growing his business. You know, Ron had a lot of things. He had good credit. He had
great balance sheet,
assets,
business and personal.
Yeah, he had all of that, and he had to go through a lot of different verticals to get what he really wanted, and even not to name his own bank. I should have, but not to even name his own bank, who he's been with for a long time, still didn't give him money.
Yeah, and what's interesting about Ron's story, outside of the point being that he got capital, is, as you were saying earlier, it's that willingness to continue to do what is necessary based on the feedback that you're getting from your audience. We always talk about the ability of a leader to show leadership and transcend their audience. Whatever that audience is, they ask you for something, give it to them. Why? Because that might be the very audience that cuts the check.
And you can't be afraid.
Can't be afraid.
You can't be afraid that you've had some bad missteps. You had a BK, bankruptcy. You know, let's not even shorten the word bankruptcy. Or you've had some challenges, you know, in your debt. I mean, businesses will run through that. More importantly, a lot of different ethnicities do different things. You know, whether you're minority, meaning African American, or Hispanic owned, or Asian, or Pacific Islander, or LGBTQ company, you may act a different way. You may have been raised a different way, and most black folks, we will go as long as we can go, right? To just ride the business out. We didn't really build most businesses to sell them. You know, we didn't understand that was, you know, that could be an exit.
Now, you know, that takes me back. That takes me back.
I want to take you back.
To one of
I got left hand. I can put my left hand.
One of our archive videos.
Right.
You remember we were talking about, hey, what's the difference between a business owner and an entrepreneur?
The business owner and entrepreneur. We might need to talk about that.
We might talk about it because one might want to run it, and one might want to sell it.
That's right. That's right.
And I want to say it in that way. Sell it.
You're going to take us on out of here for a break.
No, not a problem. Not a problem. So, you know, Penn Global News, Jesse McRae, the incomparable
Rodney Woods.
We'll be back in just a moment.
School's over. What's next? Imagine a place where friendly faces say hello. You grab a healthy snack, have fun, and play a little. Imagine a place where you get lost in a book. Get help with homework. or learn in the computer lab, where you create something cool. Kids take the stage, and you get some exercise. Imagine a safe place where you hang out with friends. Your voice matters, and someone's always there to listen. A place where you like spending the afternoon, and you can't wait to tell someone all about it. The club is a fun, positive, and safe place to grow. A place to become anything you dream. Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Penn Global News. Jesse McRae.
Rodney Woods.
Tell you, we were just talking about before the break about the difference between a business owner and an entrepreneur.
Yes, we
now,
were.
That's going to make for a great segue into the second part of our presentation about the Inconvenient Truth, a capital success story with LCP Transportation, because clearly Ron is an entrepreneur. I'd say that Ron is evolving into an even more successful business owner. So whether he's going to sell it or not, we don't know.
Yeah.
But the beautiful part about it is that he's growing this business.
Ron got some stuff.
He does have quite a few tentacles.
Way ahead of the curve. He is ahead of the curve. So
yes, he is.
We will find out. We'll bring Ron to the studio and talk about his success and what he did do with his company.
But you know, celebrating a 20-year milestone, it's only fitting that we take another opportunity to become exposed to this success story called LCP Transportation.
They are helping you out. Not only are they giving you the funding that you need, but they're also giving you the expertise, the knowledge in the environment in order to understand and be able to be successful. We reached out to Penn. Penn started to identify some potential investors and some potential funding sources. Well, what they did is they helped walk me through the SBA process, which is pretty long and arduous. So what they have is people that are experienced in dealing with the SBA, and what they've done is partner with me and walk me through, kind of held my hand and walked me through. It's just not something where you get the capital and then you go away and you just do what you've been doing. Because if you need the capital, sometimes you need the capital for growth, sometimes you need the capital for mistakes you've made in the past, sometimes you need the capital for, various things. But the reality is that Penn is going to help you to develop and grow your business. Sometimes you need people around you to help you, walk you through that process so that you make sure that you're successful going forward, and Penn can do that. They got a wealth of resources. Business owners, especially minority businesses, sit on islands. We have the same needs and the same wants and the same issues, but we don't talk to each other. Penn gives us the opportunity to know that right next door around the corner is another company just like mine that needs the same and has the same issues. Guess what? Penn can put us together and have us talk to each other. Then now we can, between the two of us, help out a lot. That makes us that much stronger. It can be somewhat intimidating dealing with large corporations when you're a minority company like us. And sometimes the simplest things for them are very tough for us. As a small business, we want to do business with big companies. But at the same time, we feel like that there's a responsibility of the big companies to really understand how to interact and to liaison with the companies and really to make us successful and them. There's a lot of challenges and there's a lot of obstacles, but we can work together to get through those if we just communicate.
Wow, man, I tell you, every time I see Ron or hear Ron, I'm just excited.
Yeah.
I'm just happy, excited, not only because of the hard work that we put into making this thing come to life, but because you see success.
Yes, you do.
And I think when more people see success as they would see any athlete or want to follow an athlete, follow LCP Transportation. Follow a company like that that's actually done it, been through it, and really got to where they want to go, and still scaling and still growing.
A great American success story.
Oh man!
And the beautiful part about Ron, is when we first met him, when I first met him, outside of just being a fan of the sport of football.
Yeah. Yes, you are.
Not necessarily the Colts.
Dallas Cowboy fan. Oh, Lord.
Hey, true and true. But what was unique for me was to engage him and come to appreciate his business acumen.
Yeah.
I mean, here's a man that went from reading the playbook, pun intended.
Yep, there you go.
To actually executing the transition into business.
Yes.
And that, if there's anything that we would want to make sure that we convey, is regardless of what space, discipline that you come from, that ideally you have identified a very specific business goal and have been methodical and patient in how you have mapped out the steps to achieve it. And one of those things, as we like to impart, is if you are willing to engage your audience and transcend from audience to audience to audience, it's going to do two things for you. Condition you for the level of scrutiny that you should expect to receive in the marketplace, but prepare you to close. And that's what Ron did. Ron closed.
Ron did close.
He did an outstanding presentation.
Ron, and he was involved every step of the way in the process. Yes, he was. And it was tough. And he told, man, this is not what people would think it's going to be.
It's funny, he said arduous.
He said arduous, right. Right, we talk about words, right? But I mean, it was tough. I mean, it was tough, man. But, there's a lot more success stories behind Ron as well.
Absolutely.
And, we're scaling ourselves, we're growing. We want to be in, 15 states. We really want to be in 15 states before December 31st.
Yes.
We're still scaling, trying to get to our goal.
Yes, we are.
And that's tough too. Because, I don't know why a lot of businesses don't understand certain things or why they don't want to do certain things, but you do want two things. You want capital, right?
Yes, you do.
And you want contracts.
Yes, you do.
So I just think, the inconvenient truth of things now, like, hey, it's time for you to get it right.
No question.
And that's what this is all about. You got to get it right in order to gain access to capital, in order to scale your business. You got to get the right skill set people to help you grow the business. And family's good.
Yeah, family's great.
Family's good, but then sometimes it's times that you can't even do family.
Yeah.
If nobody is doing what you need them to do, that requires this company to get to the next level, sometimes you have to cut ties. That's true.
And it's the willingness to cut those ties.
You do.
Because it's one thing to know that you should.
Yeah.
It's another thing to actually do it.
Yeah.
Why? Because we've been conditioned to ask for certain things a certain way.
Yeah.
Delivery. We deliver the pitch to get what we want. But, the beautiful thing about Ron's story, and any enterprise in particular that has had to transcend some dire consequences to access capital, it always comes back to leadership, not just of that CEO, but that leadership team. And I know that Ron's got a great team.
Yeah, Ron's got a great team.
And he committed.
He's
when we saw him do his presentation, he committed. He said, I'm going to take a certain amount of this capital, and I'm going to go out and acquire the best talent that's available.
Yes, he did.
And he did that every step of the way.
Absolutely.
Every step. So we want to commend him for that. There's no secret as to why, Ron, you've achieved a 20-year milestone. And we know that you're at a unique inflection point in your existence, and we applaud you, and we thank you, because you had a number of different platforms that you could have used, and you chose Playbook Investors Network. And so it's only fitting that we would also feel a great sense of gratification because we participated in that process.
Absolutely.
We participated in that process.
Absolutely.
So to find out more about who we are and what we can possibly do in terms of aiding you in your endeavor, it's www.playbookinvestorsnetwork.com. And you'll look past my face, please. Hurry past my face.
Look past his face.
Look past my face.
Don't worry. You can look at him. But we call him Medusa.
But become exposed to the breadth and depth of expertise that we have on our platform. We've been very, very blessed to acquire some of the best talent that's in the marketplace that represents a varying demographic and geography across the corner.
That's absolutely correct. That's absolutely correct. We never wanted to build Playbook to just sit in one place in one state when we knew that there were so many vendors here on the ground that's doing a lot of work. And like Ron said, there's companies next door to him that still need the same help. And sometimes, the inconvenient truth is just don't want nobody to tell you, hey, you're not going to get what you need until you get these things right. That's tough. It's just like a lot of major corporations will tell you sometimes, hey, why don't you do this one thing and get it right, and then you can go do other things. Well, as an entrepreneur, you try to do multiple things. You know, the stream of income, you try to have multiple streams of income, but you still got to understand your business.
Yes, you do.
You got to understand, you know, the balance sheets and your profit and loss so that you can understand how to dictate that and show this investor that you can actually do everything that you say you can do and why you need this money and why you need to hire these 72 people or these 172 people or you need to buy this new equipment. You got to be able to show that.
Yeah, it's funny you say 72 because even Ron even said, he said, hey, we started out with X and now we have over 90.
Yeah, Ron started out with 1 or 2 employees.
1 or 2 employees.
Yeah, and 90 employees. Yeah, absolutely.
But you know, I want to go back to one point because I know that we always like to emphasize this, and that is the importance of not just being certified, but first and foremost, be committed to establishing and investing in and running a good, sound business.
Your business.
Your business.
Your business. As an entrepreneur, your business. Not just a business. It's your business. You got to run it.
Take ownership.
Yeah, you have to. You know, you got to lead by example. I had to lead by example. You know, nobody's going to follow me down this path. I'm not doing what I need to do as well. You know, I can't get good talent like the Jesse McRae. Claiborne, Jesse McRae III,
you know,
and others.
we were hoping,
you know,
that we were going to maintain decorum and kind of follow the line, but we're getting into another level of humor. Stay tuned.
We got good employees. We got LaRonda. We got Shakira.
Yes, we do.
We
yes,
got
we do.
Kevin,
Great
we got
talent.
Robert. We got a lot of talent, great talent. But you know, more importantly, as a business owner, you do have to lead by example. You have to lead by example. But you got to be serious about your business too. You got to get these things right. These things and the 5 things that Jesse actually indicated to you early on that you need to do to get your business to the next level. You have to follow that guide. It's not that hard.
No.
It's inconvenient because you know that you don't want the truth. But that's part of what we talk about, the inconvenient truth of things you just don't want to do or you don't want to know or you don't want to hear.
You know what? What I didn't want to hear as I was, you know, driving in from the airport, coming into Unified Network Studio here in Frisco, Texas, like, you know what now? I had talked a little bit about one of my apple fritters.
Oh, my God.
I talked a little bit about wanting some coffee, and I threw out
I don't know what's wrong with this dude,
that some candy would be nice. But, you know, I do want to strongly suggest.
He going back to that candy, man.
With a very clever solicitation.
Lord have mercy.
You can get extreme sour Smarties.
Oh my God.
If you just ask.
Really?
So whether it's capital or treats, you can get it if you just ask. But in all the humor, that aside, what we always say, a closed mouth will never get fed.
Closed mouth will never get fed.
If you don't ask, if you're not willing to accept the feedback of a no, really maybe being a not yet in the course of that ask, then there's some basic blocking and tackling that you should reconsider for your business. Because again, this is your business. So the 5 things: lead with your ethics, know where you are in your industry related to your peers, understand how to speak to the balance sheet, statement of cash flows, and income statement. Help that investor flow those dollars all the way through from the point of identification, point of onboarding, to the point of execution. And you're going to be well positioned to not only access capital, but access more of it, to do 2 things.
Yeah. Well, the one thing too, you know, that value to that, Jesse, is like, you got to do these things. These things are just, it's kind of repetitive.
They're fundamental.
And you get upset when somebody asks you for certain things the way they want to see it. And you know your business, but you still want to say, well, no, they don't know my business, but you need their money.
You need their money.
So sometimes you have to do these things to make sure that you reach all these 5 steps that Jesse's actually, you know, alluded to. And it's for you. It's for you to get to the next level. So we want to encourage you to always continue to lead with your ethics. You know, run your business. You know, run it. You know, do it right. Lead by example. You know, get all your documentations and everything else in place so that you can present, you know, to the investing public a true case of why you need capital and why you need to scale your business. But as always, Jesse, it's always a pleasure to be here back on the show. I'm going to do the left hand shake this time because my arm is really hurting. So we're getting ready to go to a break. Oh, okay. We got some notices. I thought we was okay. So with that being said,
this is an official outtake.
Official outtake, absolutely. Y'all give me later. I'm not talking about the critters over here with Jesse, but we're going to go to a break, and we'll be back in a moment.
In a minute.
Hello, I'm Randall Bird. I'm a gynecologist on staff at Texas Health Center for Diagnostics and Surgery. Robotic surgery is certainly a portion of the future of medicine. Through the use of computer-assisted technology, the robot allows patients to have less pain, a shorter hospitalization, and it allows them to return to their work and their lifestyle much faster. My patients particularly appreciate the care they receive at Texas Health Center for Diagnostics and Surgery. The nursing staff always gets high marks, and they're specially trained to deal with patients after minimally invasive surgery. The facility is beautiful, and the food is excellent. If you're considering a gynecological procedure, major or minor, please speak with your physician. And remember, the physicians on staff at Texas Health Center for Diagnostics and Surgery are always available to help.
Back at PN Global News, Rodney Woods.
Jesse McRae.
Man, I had an outtake moment. I thought we was like ending for the day.
Oh, let me tell you, this is one of that was one of those where you just wait till the credits go up, okay? Because you know that there's gonna be something funny in the end.
I know, I really did, Jesse. So I apologize. And if it was up to us, we would probably stay on this set at least 2 or 3 hours every Thursday.
Every Thursday.
Because we were doing 2-hour shows, and we tried to, you know, break it down and make sure that, you know, everybody had an opportunity to listen to the show or view the show and, you know, come back with questions. You know?
And the thing about it is, you know, this is, of course, a plug for Unified, you know, Networks here in Frisco, Texas, because it's a great studio. But, you know, one of the funny things is even when we're in between the sets, I take particular interest in how the team will come out and just kind of, you know, engage us and horse around. I just hope that it's not on video.
Yeah.
Okay? Because
I've said some things.
We've got to maintain a certain image in this space. Okay?
Right.
But certainly, you know, Ed, Jim, Cord, and the team have just been fabulous in terms of how they've supported us to make sure that we can deliver this product as seamlessly as we can.
Yes.
So certainly want to, you know, appreciate this team and how they've supported the second season. Of this great show.
So, they have been very supportive. It's always a learning curve when you have new partners. You know, we've been to other studios for the last 2 years anyway, doing PN Global News.
Some with and without trees.
Right, some with or without trees. You're right. You're absolutely correct.
They had some tricks.
They had some tricks for sure.
But they didn't have treats. But
they did not.
But humor aside, you know, one of the things that we've been talking about, the primary thing we've been talking about today, has been the steps that lead up to ultimately the capital success story we were happy to bring to our viewing and listening audience. But you know, the next show is really going to be a treat as well, because you know, we always like to kind of pluck, as you like to say, cherry pick some of that legacy talent here in the Metroplex. Tell us a little bit about it.
Jess, I'm totally excited and stoked about next week's show.
Wow. Because
we have my mentor, Mr. Levi Davis, who will be the Levi Davis, who will be in the studio with us next Thursday to talk about capital and his success. But Levi was such a mentor to me when I came out of law enforcement, and he was the city manager of the city of Dallas. But always that calm, cool, educated person, man. You're like, man, you know what? I want to be like him, right? And knowing stuff too, you know, but being very successful, man, and you know, having a mentor like Levi gives you a advantage.
It does.
It gives you a big advantage. So I'm excited about having Levi here.
And one of the things, you know, we talk about is whenever we're in meetings or we're out doing presentations is noise in the room. And noise is just that. It's noise.
It's noise.
But one of the unique things about Mr. Davis is that he represents the calm and discipline in the room.
Yeah, he does.
Wherever he goes.
He does.
I mean, talk about presence.
Right.
You know,
y'all gonna see this next Thursday.
You will see this next week.
Make sure you tune on the next Thursday show.
This is gonna be special.
It's gonna be
special.
This
is gonna be special.
Mr. Davis is definitely special.
I mean, a noted businessman.
Yeah.
A huge footprint in the marketplace, not just locally, but abroad.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, he's been able to canvass the country with what I perceive as being some very simple tools. That every business owner should keep in mind to employ.
Right.
We said it on the show earlier. He's always led with an understanding that he is that what will precede him will be his reputation.
Yeah, absolutely. But
that is truly remarkable.
And
for
being a city manager handling finance for the city of Dallas, ain't no real easy thing. You know?
No. This is not like collecting offering on Sunday. Okay, you know, here's the deal. You know how it is coming up in the church.
Yeah.
You know, when you write something down on that envelope and you put it in a tray, sometimes you don't want people to know what you wrote.
Exactly.
So you just put your name and leave it blank.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. When it gets into that count room, you don't know if it's going to be accounted for properly or not. The thing about being in a position of public service is that no matter how ambiguous you try to be, not the servant, but the civilians, you're going to still hold that public servant accountable. And
for everything.
For everything. And one of the things that I've always appreciated about Mr. Davis is that no matter what he says, no matter what was said about him, verbally and in print, one truth was consistent, and that he did what he said.
Absolutely.
And that, sir, is how you maintain the luster of your reputation.
That's absolutely
and so,
right.
I mean, I'm looking forward to it.
We're
It's
excited.
gonna be exciting.
We're definitely excited about next week's show. But to close this show out today, we talked about Ron Robinson and LCP Transportation.
Yes, indeed.
His success story, gaining access to capital, actually working with Playbook Investors Network. And the team, and Roy Mullen and Allen and Tarek and all those guys who, helped guide him on the SBA side. Because like I say, we say it takes a village to raise a child.
It does.
It's like a village to raise businesses too, but the business is in your community. Yeah. And it's serving your community. So economic impact, which, Levi can talk about quite a bit, right? But the economic impact that comes back to your community, it's important. It's totally important. It's important, for us to continue to keep driving and educating, the small business community or the majority business community on how we really could own businesses or how the athletic entertainers can come in and own certain businesses in their own neighborhoods. Sure. To drive the economic dollar back to the value, to stop the crime rate. Speaking of crime rate, you just met the chief of police of Dallas.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Yes,
I did.
You just met the
dynamic young woman.
Yes, absolutely. And hold accountable for everything, right?
Accountable for
everything. So we're also trying to help cut this crime down too, because businesses, idle time, that won't work with idle time. They need to be in businesses and working in these manufacturing plants that's in your backyard. And that may stop some of the things that's going on in society now with some of these young millennial kids or just people in general who really don't have a job. So we're all about the job creation. We talk about that. We talk about, businesses that we're trying to help scale and grow and gain access to capital. But we also talk about this capital can deploy so many people to these businesses in your own neighborhoods.
When you're working, you're earning.
Yeah. When
you're earning, somebody's selling. And if somebody's selling, somebody's hiring. And if you hire enough people and work enough shifts, you're going to be tired. Yeah. There's no time for mischief. Yeah. But all humor aside, that's one of the beautiful things about Playbook. I know that's been a big part of your vision.
Absolutely.
From the very beginning. And it's fitting that it's in the moniker or the labeling of our platform. And that is the subliminal message of changing the game.
Changing the game.
Very simply, what Playbook is designed to do is to do its part in changing the game. We've always said that if you are going to see a problem and not be willing to do your part to solve it, then you're complicit in it. Yeah. One of the things about Playbook Investors Network, www.playbookinvestorswithansnetwork.com.
We normally saying that, but we're gonna let y'all off today.
We're gonna let you off. You don't want to hear my melodious voice, especially when all I've had is extreme sour Smarties. But again, all humor aside, that is what we aim to do, is to do our part to give you access, for you to engage 5-star world-class service providers that may have a solution for your particular need, but whether you use them or not, we want to do our part to position you as a small business that happens to represent a certain demographic to tell a more compelling growth and risk story, because that's the point.
That is the point. You got to tell that story, and that story needs to be told to multiple investors. And every investor wants to hear a different story sometimes, even though it's the same story you tell them, but you got to change the way you tell that story or the way you present that story. So things will be a little different. Your audit financials or your audit review won't really change. That is what it is. But there are certain things in how you actually going to present to the investing public, how you actually going to get out to the marketplace, how you actually going to scale and get more contracts, more procurement contracts, so that these investors understand that I know that if you get X, you will definitely be able to return my money, at a certain point. You can't miss those milestone payments or those coupon payments. You and I was just in Orlando with our other investors, with Gwen and Wesley. They have expectations of us.
Yes, indeed.
To return these dollars at a certain time and a certain point and make them whole.
With a return on those dollars.
on those dollars. You're absolutely right. But and we held accountable. We held accountable with T-Mac.
As we should be.
Right. We held accountable with Tracy. You know, these things have to continue to evolve, and you just got to push through. You know, I know you believe in your company, because if you didn't believe in your company, you wouldn't start a company.
That's true.
But you got to push through, and you got to, face that inconvenient truth that we've been talking about for the last, oh my God, the last 4 months, maybe 3 or 4 months we've been talking about.
Easily.
You know, the inconvenient truth of a lot of things, you still have to push through. You got to be passionate about your own business, because if you're not passionate about your own business, ain't no investor going to be passionate about giving you no money neither.
And that's one of the beautiful things about Ron's business is for me, sitting in that room, my takeaway, even trying to look through the investor's eyes, is this CEO is passionate about his business.
Yeah.
Now, he should be.
Absolutely.
But more importantly, he was passionate about the steps he was willing to take in identifying the best talent.
Yeah.
To help him run his company more efficiently and effectively, to position them to where they could grow the top line revenue.
Right, correct.
They could grow clients, manage their cost synergies, and position them to repay that money, to meet milestones, and make a return on that money. Why is that important? Because very simply, again, it's not just the return of the principal, which is important.
The return on.
But the return on the principal. Because again, you're being lent or loaned dollars based on the perception of risk. And in the capital market space, we always talk about the risk premium. But the real premium, to your point earlier, is the premium of what those dollars can do. And that's creating jobs. At Playbook Investors Network, what is consistent in terms of the vision and how we want to project ourselves to the marketplace is we're just doing our part. Because if we can help an LCP or another company like that, larger or smaller, access and get capital, then it's incumbent on them to do the two things that they promised investors that they would do and be willing to show it.
Right,
So,
and that's two distinctive things that we do at Playbook. But Playbook is designed just for the education side and the capital. That's what it was designed for. We always talk about the procurement or capital. That's a whole nother play for the procurement side, which we deal with on another level. But right now, we strictly here at PN Global News to talk about you getting educated and how you gain access to capital. And we want a whole lot of LCP transportation success stories.
And we're getting them.
Yeah, we are getting them. And we want to do this in all 50 states and cross over international markets. So it's incumbent on us to continue to be here every Thursday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time.
Until 11 a.m.
Until 11 a.m.
Central Standard.
To bring you any type of news or any type of education we can bring you via, the internet, TV, radio, what have you. But again, November 1st, 2018, we are so happy to be back in Dallas, Texas, and Frisco at
Unified Network.
Unified. Oh my God.
Another outtake.
Unified Network. So we're going to be ready for this show coming up next week with Mr. Levi Davis, and we'll see you guys next Thursday at 10 a.m.
Best of luck to you.